It's time for a cup of coffee with Will and Chris at Slumberland Furniture. From Slumberland Furniture in Osage Beach, here are your hosts, William Holtz and Chris Schneider.
Hey, it is that time for your weekly cup of coffee from Slumberland at the Lake. I'm Wild Will.
I'm Uncle Chris.
And on this week's show, we're going to have Captain Ron talking Cannonball Run 2026. Uncle C, did you see the Galloping Goose members
I did see that.
Guilty?
Boy, I tell you what, it takes a long time. Remember that shooting in 2021? They finally get that kind of sorted out.
We'll tell you all about that. Plus, hey, local Camden alum, Cam Durnan, we've talked about him. He continues to impress this time with Major League Baseball. Ties also Justin Wagner, massive real estate development. We get you ready for 4th of July fireworks. Plus, have you noticed tick activity at Lake of the Ozarks and in Missouri is nuts?
Not good, yep.
We'll talk about all that and more. But first, this from our good friends at Price and Randall. On the other side, we're going to have our good buddy, Captain Ron Duggan.
A cup of coffee as we wake up, in the car, or right here on Lake TV with Will and Chris. Kind of like driving, we do it every single day.
But we shouldn't do it while distracted. Did you know that drivers who text are 23 times more likely to be in a crash? So keep your eyes on the road and always remember to buckle up and put your phones down.
This Drive Safe, Boat Safe message brought to you by Price and Randall Injury Attorneys.
Now back to your cup of coffee with Will and Chris.
Remember to drive safe, boat safe all summer long, and most importantly, pay attention. And as promised, my good buddy, Captain Ron Duggan. What's going on, my friend?
Everything right now.
Yeah, I know. I've seen some announcements, and so we're going to get right into it. Cannonball Run 2026, going to be massive, and so people have heard about it. They may have been plugged in last year, but if they weren't, what is Cannonball Run exactly? Like, what's the concept of this event?
Well, basically, the idea behind it is to raise some money for charity, give back to the local community and local businesses, and have a little fun with it. And we're going to give a lot of money away this year, so we're pretty excited about that. We're hoping we give a lot of money to charity also. But the concept is it's kind of a poker run, but it's done by receipts. So whatever you spend in our community for a week, you're going to get poker hands to draw for a chance to win, and there's 2 of them, $25,000 first place prizes.
Yeah, and so $50,000 is going to be given away. And so what you guys do is businesses around Lake of the Ozarks for that week, you keep your receipts, and then you turn those in at the end of the event to say, hey, this is how much we've spent over the course of the week. And for every so much, you get a poker hand, you're saying.
Yeah, you get a poker hand when you register for the event. It's $125. It's tax deductible because you're giving it to a 501c3. And then for every $500 that you turn in receipts, you get another poker hand. So you're up your chances to get more hands, better odds on winning the $25,000.
And when you say like receipts, do you mean just for like eating out and your gas, or do you mean like anything at the lake?
Anything and everything. It can be...
your mortgage?
Well,
if you pay it locally here in Camden County?
If you pay it locally, it's got to be within the 3-county area, Miller, Morgan, and Camden County. And so whatever you spend, and it doesn't matter, it's groceries or gas or you get new tires on your car, you put a earnest money deposit on a new house, or you're going to refinance your loan at a local bank, anything like that. You keep your receipts. And again, for every $500 you spend, you get another poker hand, up to 20 additional poker hands. And if you go to one of our sponsor locations, you're going to get double credit. So if you spend $1,000 on tires at Clark's Tire over in Sunrise Beach, then you're going to get credit for $2,000. And you'll get 4 additional poker hands.
Yeah, shout out to JBC Clark with Joel. They do a great job. And so that's good to know, because people ask about it and they're like, well, how do we spend enough money over the course of the week? And it's like, well, it's not just your conventional purchases. And it becomes fun because then you start, when it finally clicks, you're like, oh, this qualifies. And it's really cool. In the first annual event, this was a first-time event last year in 2025. And so for a lot of first-year events, it's kind of their jumpstart. They don't have great success, but that was not the case with the first annual Cannonball Run.
No, and we had a really good first year. And we had, I think, 66 sponsors that supported us in this thing. We gave away $50,000 in prize money. We also gave $88,000 back to charity. And so that's huge.
Yeah.
You know, and that's double what I did on a previous event, you know, our first year. So, you know, we're excited about the possibilities this year. We've added 2 poker runs to it, a car poker run, a water poker run. We're going to give away at least $5,000 for each one of those. So we're going to give away approximately $70,000 this year because of the treasure hunt part of it that's going to be part of those poker runs. So we're really excited what we're going to do. We're hoping to double what we give to charity, and it's all based on the support we get from this community.
So cool. And not only that, but just a real modest projection. I was looking in about $500,000 in local economic impact in the first year.
That we know of.
That was trackable, right?
Yeah. So when people turn in the receipts, we kept the receipts, we totaled them up, came up to $544,000 of what they turned in. And we had so many people that came in and said, gosh darn it, I forgot all my receipts, so I'll just draw my poker hand. And they didn't get additional hands. But so, yeah, I think it's a lot more than that, but that's what we can track.
All right, so this year's event, it begins August 22nd. You alluded to, for registration, it's $125. Go right now to Cannonball Run at CaptainRons.com. You can find out lots more and register. But the big day to start everything when you want to start saving receipts is Saturday, August 22nd. But that is a massive day for numerous reasons because you got all kinds of stuff going on at the kickoff party. Tell us about it.
Well, we've got a huge concert. Which is going to be, it's going to start at noon and go till 5 o'clock. We're going to start with a local band, One More Shot. Then Cole Goodwin from Nashville is going to come on. He is up-and-coming star in Nashville. And then we're going to finish it with Parmalee. So we're super excited about that concert.
At Captain Ron's?
At Captain Ron's. On the stage, on the beach. We're going to play to the beach and play to the water. You can rent both slips. You buy your tickets online.
When do tickets go on sale for Parmalee?
They're on sale right now.
Oh, well, I would hurry because I just think about Parmalee, a band capable of selling 10,000 tickets to a show.
But we're limiting. We're only going to sell about 2,800 tickets. So I would encourage people to go ahead and get them.
Probably sold out by the time this airs. You better go now. Buy your tickets to Parmalee. We're going to be there. Can't wait. So I want to find out, there's all kinds of stuff from the 22nd. And then through that week, the actual event weekend, there's 2 different drawings for the $25,000 cash. And that's that following Saturday, right?
That's correct, yep.
All right, so on the 29th, man, that's going to be such a fun week. Let me ask this. For people watching, they're excited. They know Cannonball Run is now here to stay. Like, it's not just a one-year event. It's getting bigger already. What needs do you guys currently have, or does the event need from people, from our community, from the nonprofits?
Well, basically, we have a great base of volunteers. And so we're really in good shape with our volunteer organizations. Basically, and again, it's all tax deductible because it's a 501c3. But basically, register for your poker hands, register for the 2 different poker runs, the water poker run on Thursday, the car poker run on Friday, because we've got great prizes for those 2 events also. We're going to have an auction on Thursday night, great concert Thursday night.
Is it Christiana?
It is.
Oh, yeah, like, come on, baby. Hey, congratulations. Christiana recently engaged. One other thing I want to ask. I want everyone to go to Cannonball Run at CaptainRons.com. All the full event schedule, registration links, promotions you can see last year at some of the events. But I want to ask you as we round out here, for you, Ron Duggan, who has the incredible run with nonprofits and events here in the Lake of the Ozarks, what did it mean for you in your first year putting this event together to see 66 sponsors and the turnout and the support from the locals? Personally, what did that mean to you?
Well, it meant the world to me. And, you know, people showed me that they support me and the efforts that we put on down at Captain Ron's. And I mean, really, they came out of the woodwork to support us on this first year event. First year events don't typically do what we did. But I mean, I would call people or text people and they were like, absolutely, Ron, whatever you want, you know, we're on board. And that means the world to me.
I'm excited, Ron. We're fired up. We're all about Cannonball Run 2026 at Captain Ron's, August 22nd. Everything gets kicked off one last time. Cannonball Run at CaptainRons.com. You don't want to miss it. Captain Ron, appreciate it, my brother. And before I go, listen, you still own Captain Ron's. Aquapalooza, July 18th. Midwest Beach Wrestling, best live music, and this summer you guys got some incredible themes and parties, so go check out Captain Ron's on Facebook. And did I see you guys doing church on the beach on Sundays?
We're doing it 4 times this year. It's the second Sunday of each month. So we'll have it again in July and August. They're doing a fantastic job. We're really excited to have those guys here. And don't forget July 3rd fireworks.
Cannot wait. Captain Ron's family-friendly lakefront beach bar and grill here at Lake of the Ozarks. That's Captain Ron's. We'll be right back with the rest of Cup of Coffee right after this.
Hey everybody, it's Daryl Cunningham at Slumberland Furniture at the Lake. We're back here in the Mattress Gallery where we've got some hot deals for some cool night's sleep. That's right, all the major manufacturers are on sale. After this sale's over, we got an email and they're all going up in price. Not only do we have the hot deals, but we've got interest-free financing for up to 72 months. Money off and free money, all at the same time. Come see us at Slumberland Furniture, where we're bringing happy home.
All right, big shout out to Captain Ron, man. I'm excited. Can you believe they get Parmalee coming to Captain Ron's this summer?
Yeah, it's just year 2 for that event, for the Cannonball Run. That thing's just going to keep getting bigger and bigger, and love us some Captain Ron.
Absolutely. All right, so as we get into our local headlines, as we got you guys ready for the big Cannonball Run, the first one is, do you remember those 3 motorcycle gang members from the Galloping Goose and that shooting on the Bagnell Dam strip at Casablanca from 2021? We have an update.
Absolutely. So 3 of these guys plead guilty in federal court to charges relating to that 2021 shooting. So on May 13th of this year, May 13th, Tonka Wakon Ponder, 55 years old, pled guilty to a whole lot of crimes, right? A whole lot of different counts. On May 5th, so about a week before that, another guy, Keith Nolan, 36 years old, pled guilty to several different crimes. And on June 17th, Tretch Lawrence, 50 years old, pled guilty to a few less crimes, but several of these crimes. So by pleading guilty, Ponder, Nolan, and Lawrence admit that they were members of this Galloping Goose Motorcycle Club and that the Galloping Goose Motorcycle Club engaged in racketeering activities to include attempted robbery and extortion. Focus of the robbery and extortion were another group, right, motorcycle group called the Iron Celtics, and they also admitted to aiding and abetting assault on members of that other motorcycle club in December of 21, and that was at the Chuck Wagon Cafe. I hadn't heard about that, so there was a whole nother altercation that happened. They admitted the assault included one individual being assaulted with a pistol. So, I mean, we're talking some serious stuff, but we knew it was serious stuff because there was a shooting on the strip at Casablanca, which is kind of where all of this blew up.
Yeah, back then, Lake TV, we had video. We saw Lake Expo shared that again this week. But of that, it was crazy, right?
Yeah.
It just made headlines all over. And so now, with all 3 defendants pleading guilty, the federal prosecution of one of the lake's area's most notorious motorcycle gang violence cases will enter its final stages. And a lot of people probably forgot about this, right?
I don't know. There's a lot of people remember that shooting on the strip. It was so public. And I think a lot of people like me are like, well, why does this take so long to get this far? So the case is being prosecuted by 3 different assistant U.S. attorneys. So that just goes to show you how serious this is. The case is part of what they call Operation Take Back America, a nationwide initiative that marshals the full resources of the Department of Justice to repel the invasion of illegal immigration and achieve total elimination of cartels and transnational criminal organizations. So serious stuff.
Wow.
You know, Trump, when he came in, he said, we're putting everybody on notice. We're going to try to clean all this stuff up. So this got to be a part of that. Thank goodness, I guess.
So, of course, that took place in May. Now, sentencing dates have not yet been announced, but the guilty plea marks a major development in a case that has remained under investigation for the last few years here at Lake of the Ozarks. All right, so our next local headline, we tell you about it. Cam Durnan, right? The former Camden Lakers standout and current Missouri Tigers shortstop, making headlines once again this week.
We talked about it a couple months ago when he moved over to play at Mizzou. He'd been playing at Wichita State, I think. So he goes to Mizzou, had a great year at Mizzou. We were talking about, this kid could go to the major leagues someday. Well, he gets an invitation to this year's baseball draft combine. I mean, everybody's heard of the NFL combine, right? Just before the NFL draft. Baseball does that too. So here's how it works. It's this week, actually, in Phoenix. They've got 335 prospects. When you think about baseball, that's not that many. It's pretty amazing.
There's more than that many players typically in a pipeline or farm system for most major league teams.
Absolutely, yeah. So this is like the cream of the crop, 335, including 195 from college, which whittles it down even more. The Durnan is in that, and 140 high schoolers. They're considered the sport's best talents. And Durnan, I think, is going to be back. If he doesn't get drafted and get a big track, he'll probably play another year for Mizzou, I think.
And even if you do get drafted, a lot of times part of that contract is you get to finish your collegiate career.
Cool.
So that's possible. Now, this is a huge opportunity. He'll get to showcase his abilities in front of Major League Baseball scouts, GMs, manager, and front office executives. But not that they didn't have enough to already know that Cam Durnan is one of the greatest in the college ranks currently in a injury-shortened junior campaign, his first year with the Missouri Tigers. His stats are as such: .329 batting average, which was first in the Missouri Tigers, slugging .570, first, a 1.008 OPS, first, drew 27 walks, first, led the Tigers with 11 stolen bases, first, on base percentage 44%, first, doubles 9, first, only 4 errors on 151 chances. Unbelievable. The great Cambino, Cam Durnan, is well on his way to playing in the majors. Unbelievable. And I hope he's back one last year for the Missouri Tigers, because outside of Max Scherzer, he might be the greatest Missouri Tiger baseball player ever, not to mention his 9 home runs, 32 runs scored, 33 runs scored, 25 RBIs, all good for second on the team, and 90 total bases. I mean, this was crazy. I was following it weekly, right? I couldn't wait to see after the Mizzou game, go look at that box score.
Yeah.
And he had a stretch where he got on base for like 19 consecutive games.
And he's the real deal. I mean, it's not like he's doing this in the Sisters of the Poor League, I mean, he's doing this in the SEC, the best conference by far for college baseball, and he's racking up those numbers. I mean, this kid's for real.
Yeah, and over the final 10 games of the 2026 campaign, he was second in all of Division I college baseball in batting average and had 5 home runs over his last 10 games.
It kind of makes me think of your numbers in softball. You're so prolific.
Yeah, I love that. My teammates and anyone that comes to the games may adamantly disagree, but I'll take your assessment, Uncle C. Big shout out to the O-Hills Orangutans, defending league champs, currently first place in the Osage
Why do you call yourself the orangutan?
Because we're goofy and out of control and like to itch our armpits. I don't know.
That makes sense, yeah.
All right, hey, Justin Wagner, right? We talk about him, a well-known name in Lake of the Ozarks. Boating is now making another major investment here in the lake area.
Yeah, new one, a development on Native Ridge in Osage Beach. Mile marker 18 scheduled to be completed this fall. The first phase, anyway, of the development will boast 3,500 square foot, 2-story luxury villas, right? Okay, so get this. 1,750 foot first floor of each unit going to function as a luxury locker for the owner's toys, right? 1,750 feet of this. The second story will be the living space. That includes 3 bedrooms, walk-in closets, full kitchen, great room, and incredible view of the landscape there. Second phase of this development will conclude later, but this fall, I think the first phase is scheduled to be done. I think this is another one. It's kind of like the man caves, it sounds like, right?
Yeah.
I think this is going to be huge.
Yeah, and for those not familiar, Justin Wagner, he's the entrepreneur who started Waves and Wheels Marine Audio, just unbelievable, second to none in America, and now the new owner, recently, of DWR Doug Wright Powerboats. This is a brand new luxury residential area because it's really for motor coaches, not RVs so much, but even bigger than RVs is motor coaches. So you talked about some of those. And this recent report from Speed on the Water, as you said, at the 18-mile marker, is also going to have in later phases private boat launch ramp, swimming pool, pickleball courts.
Yeah.
I mean, this is going to be like, remember when they announced this like 2 years ago? They said it was going to be like Cedar Ridge or whatever, Big Cedar Lodge down in Branson. Now, Wagner says the location between Port Chima and the villages gives residents quick access to many of the lake's most popular waterfront destinations. So right there between Port Chima and the villages, in case you're wondering, on location. But this is pretty exciting because we're seeing new outside the box from the toy boxes, the different man cave options. Will Anglers Lodge right? Well, this is right along those lines, a new outside the box option for people that want to come to Lake of the Ozarks, but have really nice, expensive things they want to bring with them.
Yeah. I mean, well, and that's one of the things about the Lake of the Ozarks. There's so many second homes here, and a lot of people with money, and these are obviously made for people with money. If the whole bottom floor of 1,750 feet is for your toys, right? So hey, have at it. Bring your tax money to the lake, right?
Yeah, Wagner says interest from potential buyers has already begun, and that the development is designed to match the active lifestyle of many of his marine industry customers. Right? You buy a DWR Doug Wright 42-foot cat, you're gonna want to keep it protected. So pretty cool. We'll keep you posted on that. I reached out to Justin Wagner. He says he's excited. They move forward.
I think he needs to do a Lotto Homes and show us those things. That would be cool.
Yeah, that would be cool. Of course, you can go back and see that doc that's sitting there on last season of the LOZ featured doc series.
Yeah.
Where we featured Wagner and that doc. All right, this was a crazy, sad story. Meth needles were found near a children's toys and possessions, and disturbing conditions were discovered during a drug investigation here around the lake.
Yeah, and if you got kids, this is going to turn your stomach, right? Like you got a little daughter and you read a story like this and it just kind of blows you away. Camden County woman facing drug and child endangerment charges after authorities say a narcotics search warrant led investigators to approximately 139 grams of meth, suspected LSD, used syringes, smoking devices, digital scales, baggies, and children's items inside a Camdenton area residence. According to a probable cause statement, it was filed in Camden County. Members of the Mid-Missouri Drug Task Force and Camdenton Police Department executed this search. June 16th in Camden County, authorities say Angela Marie Allen was present at the time of this search. During the search of a backyard and shed, another individual was allegedly found sleeping. All right, great. Investigators say they located multiple containers and baggies, white crystal substance. According to the probable cause statement, the substance weighed 139 grams, field tested positive for meth. Investigators also allege found multiple digital scales. What could that be used for? Clean baggies, used hypodermic syringes inside the shed. And then they went inside and just found more and more and more. It's pretty spooky.
Yeah, as with all criminal cases, the allegations remain accusations until proven in court. Investigators say the case highlights the dangers children can face when illegal drug use and trafficking activities occur inside family residences. Now, law enforcement agencies throughout Missouri continue to report ongoing challenges related to methamphetamine distribution and use. Now, child welfare agencies and prosecutors often work alongside law enforcement when children are discovered living in potentially dangerous environments. And so I believe a tip had come in. Authorities say the investigation remains active and additional information could be released as the case moves forward through the court system. We'll keep you posted on this, but yeah, heartbreaking to see that, and we'll continue to keep you posted. But you hate seeing those kind of headlines, especially when there's kids involved.
Oh yeah, it's just, and according to the probable cause statement, when investigators explain the dangers of meth use around children and how smoke can contaminate areas inside a residence, this woman, Allen, began to sob and said she was unaware of the potential dangers. How can you be unaware of the potential dangers of that?
Well, if you are using and addicted to, you may have very well lost your sense of reality. But,
maybe, yeah.
All right, so as we move ahead, hey, have you noticed more ticks this year around Lake of the Ozarks? Let me tell you, you're not imagining it. Experts across Missouri say a combination of warm temperatures, heavy spring rains, and high humidity have created nearly perfect conditions for tick populations across the Show Me state. And health officials are warning outdoor enthusiasts, pet owners, and families to be extra cautious this year.
Yeah, and if you're a pet owner like you are, so we're not, we're too into ourselves to have pets, right? So, But if you have pets, then these ticks jump on board the pets, and then all of a sudden they're in your house, and it can be more of a danger, more of a problem. But this year the ticks are exploding. They climb up onto high grasses, and they'll jump on you when you're walking by, or drop down from a tree or something like that. And there's a lot of different diseases now from these things, which are not good.
Yeah, Missouri's experiencing one of its most active tick season in recent memory. As you said, weather experts say its unusually wet spring created ideal breeding conditions. March and April brought significant rainfall across much of the state, keeping wooded areas and tall grasses damp and humid, and ticks thrive in moist environments because they're less likely to dry out. University of Missouri researchers actually said that the state's warmer than average spring has allowed ticks to become active much earlier this year than they had in years past. So, conservation experts are describing it as having Goldilocks conditions, which is the perfect ideal temperature conditions for them not only to live and exist, but to reproduce and continue to grow. And that's what we're seeing right here in Missouri. Experts say that what you can do is avoid walking through tall grass and brush, if possible, wear long sleeves and long pants, use EPA-approved insect repellents, and always perform full-body tick checks after spending time outdoors on you and your pets when you come inside. And one thing they said is keep lawns mowed and remove leaf litter around your property. Shout out to Uncle Andrew. We're good there. And consider creating gravel or mulch barriers between wooded areas and your yard. So experts say the combination of the weather and us being in Missouri, and I think everyone's noticed it. I've heard so many people say, oh my gosh, have you noticed the ticks this year? Yeah, we've all noticed the ticks this year.
Yep, absolutely. And they can be real tiny too. So you have to, some of them are bigger, some of them are just so small. So you do have to be, and if you got children, be sure you check them for ticks and stuff. But yeah, it's a thing. And these diseases that come with it are a real thing too. Lyme disease, this new alpha-gal thing that's out there, it's bad.
Yeah, and have you ever seen one that gets on a dog and ends up swelling up to the size of a beach ball?
I've heard of that.
Not really a beach ball, but yeah, they get massive.
Yeah.
Right, just crazy. All right, so we're talking about why you don't want ticks this summer around Lake of the Ozarks. You're probably getting ready for 4th of July. And to do that, we got to tell you who's got you covered this 4th of July season. For the last 38 years, Kovacs Fireworks in Lori has been the most trusted name in fireworks in the Show Me State. And good for you. Luckily for you, they're open daily right now from 9 to 11 every day. And Uncle Chris, since you asked why I love Kovacs Fireworks.
Why? Why do you love Kovacs?
Largest selection in the Tri-County region. Manufacturer direct, which is the lowest prices. Massive indoor showroom, which is climate controlled, which is good for guys like us.
Yep.
And you see it before you buy it. You can scan every firework in store with their little scan guns. It projects on the TV screens, and you get to see Becky, Sid, their entire crew at Kovacs Fireworks. We got giveaways, discount cards spread around the lake, and daily deals. Go check them out on Facebook and be looking for our big annual giveaway we do every single year, dropping this week on Lake TV. And if you're wondering where they're at, just look for that giant windmill off Highway 5 there in Lori, right next to the Lake West Marine, chances are, and it's Sherman Drive, but we love Kovacs Fireworks.
Oh, yeah. We've been over there together. I'm always careful when I go near fireworks with you because you seem to have a curse on you with fireworks, but Kovacs is the place to go.
Yeah, I did until Kovacs, and they solved the curse. They solved all your 4th of July problems when it comes to fireworks here at Lake of the Ozarks. All right, so as we get ready to tie a bow on this week's show, we want to end with our weekly scripture, and this week's verse is Ephesians 4:32. Be kind and compassionate to one another, forgiving each other, just as in Christ God forgave you. I love that. Forgiveness. That's hard to do sometimes, isn't it?
It is really hard to do sometimes, but you just have to think of what God has forgiven us for. I mean, so much makes it easier to forgive other people, right?
Amen, brother. If you're wondering what else is on Lake TV this week, you could catch the Lotto Homes, the iconic Bush Estate. Do you see that?
Yeah, that's pretty incredible, and that's on the market again, right?
Yeah, with our good friend Peggy Albers. Also, Dr. Mark Beck. You feeling a little soreness, a little tightness? Dr. Mark Beck, you got to tune into this week's Spotlight show. He's going to get you straightened up.
He's pretty special because he's not just a chiropractor. He also is like an expert at a lot of different things. But one of those things is pain management, which is big. If you're in pain, you're looking for a way to deal with that and get rid of that. This dude can help you out.
No doubt. And also, don't forget, it's kind of calmed down a little bit after the crazy couple of weeks but the live Republican debates for the primary election coming up in August, those are still out there, all 6 seats that are on the ballot. You can go check that out before you cast your ballot on August 4th. Well, that's going to do it for this week's Cup of Coffee from Slumberland at the Lake. Thanks for watching. Until next week, my friends, God bless.